kind of think back to my own life, like sometimes like luckily for me, like my parents were very, they didn't like push me to do the same thing they did, and I feel like a lot of parents get caught up in that. They want their kids to be the people that they weren't, so they're like, hey, like, I want you to do the same thing that I do, but better, I want you to go into the same profession that I'm in, but do it better than me. So, so for you, like, did you ever feel that with your dad? Did he ever
Never.
like, and I noticed that your daughter is also working with you, in entrepreneurship. So like, how do you balance that, giving them the freedom to like pursue what they
Mm.
want, but also like, you know, uh, also like trying to influence them, and kind of lead them
Mm.
towards the right path.
My dad never told us what we needed to do. I was a teacher. He
Mm,
said, find what you love and what you're good at and stay with it. And both my husband and I were teachers, and we love teaching. And that's what I still do. Is I still do teaching, just not in a school district. And it took us years to make the decision to work in the family business. We decided to do it because it was the right time and there was the right opportunity, and we could make a difference at the time we did it. And when we chose to leave and go on our own, there were no hard feelings, because like my for you and for your family. And if it makes you happy, do it. And so I started direct selling, and I loved what I did, and I have no regrets about that. And my daughter is a direct seller at heart. She's an entrepreneur at heart. My son is an entrepreneur, and he owns his own company. I think it's just in her blood.
ah,
And and so whatever that looks like to you, I wouldn't be disappointed if my son said, "Hey, I want to go work for this company and do
mhm.
this." I'd want to make sure he thought about what were the pros and the cons, but then it's his decision because it's his life. So we never were pushed in any one direction.
Mm. Yeah, I think that's great because you hear it all the time. Like
Mm.
some some kids, they, have been influenced and pushed by their parents to do something, and then years later they find themselves unhappy in that job or profession, and then they
Mhm.
have that resentment towards their parents. And so I think
Yes.
as parents, it's important to kind of give your kids that freedom to pursue what they want and let them live their
Mhm.
lives, which is
Mhm.
can be hard, because if you really want them to, do something or kind of guide them towards a specific path, it's hard to balance.
It is, and you know something, I think back because I wanted to be a teacher, and I went into that profession, and I had a friend that was a roommate, and she also was in education, and both of her parents had been teachers and said, "This is the best thing for you. You'll be really good at it. It comes by you naturally. You'll get your summers off with your kids." I mean, it really pushed her in that direction. And her senior year, she did her September experience, and then you have like an internship that you do. And she said, "I hate kids. I don't like this. This is not fun." So she had to go a few more years of school to change what she was doing, and her parents were disappointed. But you know what? She was happy with her decision.
Mhm.
So I think I love being a parent. I love being a grandparent. And I think the most important thing is to empower your children, your grandchildren, to
Mhm.
make good choices.
Right.
And they're their choices. If we tell people what to do versus ask questions, then we kind of own the responsibility of that choice along with them. But they really fall back and say, "Well, you're the one that told me to do it."
Mhm.
And they don't have to take responsibility. And I don't think that's a good thing.
Right. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you watch the full episode here. And if you're not subscribed yet, make sure you click on the subscribe button. I really appreciate you watching. I'll see you in the next video.